Mrs. HAUTA, may I start with a very, very personal question?
Of course.
When was your son born?
My son, my only child, was born in the night of 29th of March 1981, which was the first time when Finland reintroduced the summertime. And as a young first-time mother, I was totally confused. When was my child born?
And now you know he is in place by all the data and so on.
Yes,
Good.
it all went quite well then.
The reason why I ask you is, of course, that you are among those taking the initiative up to get rid of this changing biannual of times. Why? Not only because of your son.
No, not at all only, but I think it's good to have a personal connection to the issue. But seriously speaking, the benefits of the daylight saving hour are close to zero. Of course, in the past there was the energy saving issue when a light bulb was 100 watt. Now it's like 5, 10. So the energy saving issue is not there anymore. And at the same time, when we realize that the benefits actually have faded away, experts have come to realize that the human organism is a very sensitive clock, and every external disturbance and disorder towards this very sensitive organism are absolutely damaging. And if we project that on the population level, we just can just guess how many more heart attacks there will be, how many more accidents at home, at workplace, in the traffic, and so on. How many babies who don't understand that they should switch their clocks, how many desperate parents who can't make their babies sleep or wake. So there's no reason at the moment to defend this directive, the 10th Daylight Savings Directive.
One thing wasn't mentioned at today's press conference, the situation of animals. Because it's known that they have certain times where they are crossing highways and thousands, if not millions, are killed because of the changing of time. In Finland you have a special situation, agricultural. You have short daylight in the winter. That's why you get extra subsidies from the EU. How about changing times for cows? They're used to special time for getting their milk.
Well, I'm an agronomist by training, but I must say that animal husbandry is not my specialty. I do have sheep, which are basically just summer guests, but very nice so. But I know from farming that the animals also get disturbed by this switching of the clock. So there's another reason why we should really now get rid of this unnecessary burden on living organisms, whether animals or humans.
What is the possibility of having a success on your idea here?
Well, the starting point, I think 2 years ago when we started to discuss with the European Commission from the Parliament side, was really depressing because the Juncker Commission proudly declares that it wants to be big in big matters and small in small matters, and they just very carelessly declared the question of the daylight saving hour, the switching of the clocks 2 times a year, a small matter that they wouldn't care about. And nevertheless, they are the masters of the directive, which has to be changed in order to abolish the daylight saving hour. But I feel that every half a year we are getting closer to the objective of abolishing the daylight saving hour. I'm not saying that it's easy, because it's a little bit like a status quo. There's so many hindrances because the law is there, and it would necessitate so many small changes everywhere. And it's actually a very bad signal of the EU's incompetence to react to issues which are close to people. And I know that in more and more countries people are realizing that this is maybe the first unnecessary regulation that the EU has in place. So I'm hopeful, and this cross-party alliance that we have is growing, and the European Parliament will one day convince the Commission.
But the question could be solved by a motion signed by 1 million European citizens.
This actually is a very good idea, because we see that now the European Citizens Initiative has been mobilized several times successfully. And this is definitely an issue where the EU Commission has the competence, so 1 million citizens could address the European Commission.
Who's taking that initiative?
Sorry?
Who's taking that initiative?
Actually, I haven't seen that there is one, but I hope there will be one, unless there is one already.
How about doing it?
Well, it's maybe not for the members of parliament, the elected politicians, to take such an initiative, but all of us working towards this objective of abolishing the daylight saving hour would certainly be the most ardent promoters of the initiative and defenders of it when it would arrive in the European Parliament. Then we have the national parliaments, and Finland is a country where a popular initiative was launched by citizens, and it has now hit the Parliament, and the Parliament's Transport Committee is discussing it. And I just hope that it doesn't become a victim of the division of the Parliament into government and opposition, because this should have nothing to do with government and opposition. So, in the best case, the Finnish Parliament could be the one that tells its government, go to Brussels, tell the other member states, tell the Commission that it's time to discuss this useless regulation.